when you have an issue or concern or want to talk to somebody here at the city who are leading these 3 departments. So starting with you, Ms. McClary, do you have a mic? Do you have something? Oh, it's right in front of me. Starting with you, Director McClary, we titled this event Civil Rights to Human Rights. Where do we go from here? Would you mind sharing with us a bit about the work that your office does and its connection to human rights?
So I'm really happy to have this opportunity because a lot of people, I think, don't understand what police oversight is. Like, if I were to probably just go to each table and ask you, I'd get so many different answers. But police oversight is civilian police oversight, and so no one in my office or no one around the country that serves in this position is currently a sworn officer. So we're all civilians, and our job is to really be the voice of the community to the police department and vice versa. And so how we relate to human rights is that I always feel like people have heard of internal affairs, right? So we're like the civilian version of internal affairs. So we are kind of the watchdog, making sure that the department is doing the things that it needs to do. But we also help them, right? So because it's no help for me to call Chief Garcia, for example, and say, Chief, these things are going wrong, and did not have solutions. So we try to also bring solutions. And the human part of this is that our office, one of the things that we do is we take complaints. And depending on where you live, I know for some people this doesn't make any sense, but there are people that actually are afraid and don't want to go to a police station and file a complaint. And so I have to say, since our office has been here, we have seen, it's a good and a bad thing, right? When people complain, it's not necessarily good, but we have seen so many people just come and be able to voice their concerns. And we've been able to work with the police department on a lot of these concerns, helping them think about policies, helping them think about the way officers patrol in this city. And the other thing that we do in terms of human rights is that we're out at the scene. Whenever there's an officer involved shooting, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my phone rings and myself or my investigator, my colleague, we're actually there. And a lot of those times when those shootings happen, the person dies. And so we actually help show the video to the family members if there's body-worn camera footage or other footage of their loved one. It's very important. That is a role that is very important to me. And we also help them make sure that they know what their rights are, that they know how to access the detectives that are going to be working on their case. And so the same thing with the protesters. And I'll just wrap up in terms of just the human element. When the 100 Days of Historic Protests happened in the city of Dallas, it was our office that sat with the chief of police, then Chief Hall, and talked about what is it looking like? How are your officers treating people during the protest? And getting her to understand that even shows of force are intimidating. So even if officers are out there in riot gear and stuff and they're not even moving, that's intimidating. And so I was so proud to say, if you see a protest now, DPD is so far removed, you may not even know they're there. They are there in case a peaceful protest turns violent. But we've worked to be able to let protesters be able to have their First Amendment rights and not feel antagonized and afraid. And so those are the ways that we bring the human rights, the rights of people to be human, to protest, to do everything that they need to do to this issue of policing.
Thank you for that. And what is the best way to connect with your office?
You can reach us if you're ever here in City Hall. We're upstairs on the 5th floor of 5CS, but you can also give us a call and we'll have some information out here, or reach us by email. And one really quick thing is we also don't only take complaints, we take commendations. So if you go to our website, there's a button to make a complaint, but there's also a button that says thank an officer, because we want to recognize the men and women in blue that are doing well. And so I love sending those emails forward to Chief Garcia to say, look, how the community is supporting your officers and the good things that they do.
Thank you. Thank you for your good work. Martine, welcome to Dallas. We're so glad you are here. Do you miss Atlanta? No. Okay, good. Tell us about your work as a director of the Office of Arts and Culture, and tell us how you infuse equity into the work that you do.
Well, the work that we do has a lot to do with the Rich Equity Plan and uplifting the tenets of that plan, using the arts to build a bridge, highlighting the work of the cultural arts sector across the city, and most of the work that the Community Arts Division does. So before I talk about the programs, I want to talk about the people, because our staff is charged with building rapport with community members, establishing trust, ensuring that the resources that we're charged with get to the right folks so that they can continue doing what they do. So they're here. Shout out to Laura Ivory and to Gabriel who's here and Jasmine, because again, the work that we do, the mission of the office is only seen and uplifted by the great staff members that we have. Some of the work that Rhonda's office does, our Community Arts Division, has to do with uplifting artists who identify as aligned artists. So those are folks who are descendants of marginalized communities, who have been underrepresented, who have not had access to resources in the past. We are focusing on those folks, ensuring that they are prioritized, ensuring that our budget reflects that we are prioritizing them. I hope that while you've been eating and breathing, that you had time to take a gallery stroll here. Black History Month exhibit, which highlights some of our Atlanta artists. You saw Rob Halbert, forgive me, Rob Holbert. Thank you, I'm not looking at the lyrics either. But either way, you know,